Welcome, guys. Tony Porter, late at night. So I guess you could call it Sunday AM. So this is the late, late, late show, and it is Cardinals at Mets. Let's look a little bit more closely. Um, all right, it is a 2-2 game, top of the eighth, one out. It's Dylan Carlson at the plate. Seth Lugo's on the mound for the Mets, and it's 2-8-0 for the Cardinals, 2-1-0 for the Mets. They've only managed one hit so far. Uh, so let's do it. Here's the pitch from Seth Lugo. It's going to be a 22, and that's a swing and a miss. Goes down chasing the slider in the dirt. And that's two away now for Lugo. And here is Albert Pujols. Pujols today is 0 for 2 pitch. And a 21, and that's a fly ball deep center field. Racing back is Nimmo. He gets there, and that retires the side. I'm going to pull Hudson now. He's already at his limit. So we're going to grab somebody here to pitch the bottom of the eighth, 2-2 tie. It's the 2022 Cardinals are playing field day baseball. Hope you've been following along my field day baseball games. I've gotten in a good kind of groove with field day baseball. Play super fast, and I wanted to demonstrate that a little bit today. Let's see. We're gonna go close. No, not the closer. I want to go with a righty. I got a guy named Packy Naughton. Packy Naughton is the guy I'm going to grab here. You get all the players. Packy Naughton. There he is, Packy Naughton. So I've used him before. He's a ground ball pitcher. And he will be facing Eduardo Escobar, a switch hitter. Trying to keep it down a little bit here, super late at night. So Packy's in there. Let's play this. We're rolling 2d6. You read the blue and then the white. Here's a pitch, and that's a 65, which is a 5-6 strikeout. He only goes up to 2, so it's going to be a fly ball deep center field. And under that is Harrison Bader. One down. Here is J.D. Davis against the lefty. And that's a 66. That's going to be a drive in the gap. That's going to make it to the wall. Digging for second is Davis, and he's in there with a double. Now I'd like to pinch run for him here. Can we grab Jankowski? Just takes a second. We're going to grab Travis Jankowski as a pinch runner. And it's Luis Guillorme, a lefty. We will stick with Guillorme here, even though he's a lefty. I have a very, very tight bench. I could bring a righty, but I don't think I have anybody else to play unless I moved McNeil. I've got Mazeika, Plummer, and Dominic Smith, all lefties on the bench. So I'm going to stick with Guillorme. Here's the pitch from Packy Naughton. And that is a 31, and that's going to be a base hit. But I don't know that Jankowski will score on this. I realize he's a pinch runner, but I don't know. He is actually... Yeah, he's not a... Okay, so he's not going to score on this 31. So he will hold at third. So it's a ground ball through the right side. And Jankowski. Carlson comes up throwing Jankowski. They give him the red light here. Alright, so it's first and third with one out. The infield is going to be in. It's Thomas Nido, who's an excellent bunter, by the way. Here's the pitch. and that's a 25. 25 is interesting. 11 is a home run. Up to 13 is a double. Up to 21 is going to be a hit by pitch. So we need a low number, and we do not get it. It's going to be a line out. And we're going to have to look at a chart for that. And I don't know. I don't have that chart out, so I'm just going to grab it. A line out. Let's see. So let's roll. And it's a 46, and a 46 is ripped and caught by the second baseman. Whips it to first, and they double him up. And he freezes at first base, and they double him up. Does not get back in time. Guillorme was surprised for some reason and hesitated and was late getting back. It's a double play, and the Cardinals defense saves the day, gets him out of the inning. So it's going to be an L for EP, and that retires the side. All right, so we're going to pull Lugo here. Harrison Bader's coming up here in the top of the ninth. And we're going to bring in, here Trevor Williams. Oh, he's in the rotation. Let's see who we have that we can bring in that we trust a little bit. Holderman, Colin Holderman. Well, he's a little bit tired. I'm going to bring on Lopez. Has been used. Well, innings pitched usage is 85%. I'm going to bring in Steven Nagosic. He'll be the new pitcher. There he is. He's a fly ball guy. All right, Harrison Bader. And we'll put Lugo under here. Harrison Bader's up. Let's see what kind of stuff his bullpen says. He's a 3.37 and 2. That means a 23 is a home run on that 7. All right. And not for Bader, though. He needs a home run at 66 to get credit for that. So he won't get credit for that. All right. So Harrison Bader against Nagosic here in the top of the ninth. 2-2 tie. Cardinals at Mets. 2022-32. And a 6 is a 3, and that's a ground ball through the left side for a base hit. McNeil gets it in quickly to Lindor. And Bader's on, and he will have a chance to steal, automatic steal. There goes Bader, the throw down, and he is out. So Nito lets her fly, and Lindor with the quick tag, and they throw out Bader. Zone base runner on first is out. Holy smokes. Great throw by Nito. And here's Kisner, Andrew Kisner, the catcher at 23, and that's a strikeout, 2-way. And up comes the top of the order, Tommy Edman. Pitch to Edman, 63, and that'll be a fly ball to right. Backing up a few steps is Canna. He's there, makes the catch, and that retires the side. We go to the bottom of the ninth, 2-2 tie. It's Nimmo coming up. Nimmo coming up against Norton. Here's the pitch, and that is a 13, which will be a fly ball left center field. Yepes, he's there. One down. Mark Canha. And a 46 will be a bouncer to third. Up with it is Sosa. Arenado got hurt and got pulled early on in the game. And here's Francisco Lindor. Lindor is really struggling as of late. He's got his batting average is up to, is down to 200 at this point. Here's a pitch, and that's a snake eyes. That's going to be a drive down the line into the corner. Yepes fields it off the carom, and digging for second is Lindor. Here's the throw, the tag by Edman, not in time. So Lindor with a 2-out double puts the Mets in a good spot here with a man in scoring position, and up comes Alonso. We will be pitching to Alonso. And do we go to the bullpen here, bring in somebody who's a little bit better? Yeah, let's do that. Let's grab somebody here, somebody else. Let's grab one of our setup guys. But we need a righty setup guy. That's the issue I was having. Oh, I got nope. He's tired. Miles Mikolas rotation. Oh, I got Andre Pallante. I'm going with Pallante. He has to be better than Naughton. So let's go with Pallante. You get all the players in this game, so you got to go through them a little bit here to get. I don't have everything set up like some other guys who I admire greatly. I just kind of like wing it, start rolling dice and playing. Don't worry about, Okay, hold on 1 second here, because I see this is going to. All right, it's Pallante. He's got his 6 stuff, which is not great. 5-4-2-0 against Pete Alonso. But that's what they have. They don't have a great bullpen, and a lot of guys that are in there are tired right now. So we're gonna, or do we rather pitch to the next guy, McNeil? No, we're gonna pitch to Alonso. Here's the pitch, and that is a 64, which will be a tapper right back to Pallante, over to Pujols, and that retires the side. G1 to end the inning. So the Mets had an opportunity there, but Alonso was not clutch. So we're going into free baseball territory here in the top of the 10th. It's 2-2 tie, and that puts a runner on second base, Tommy Edman, for Donovan. And let's see who the Mets have in the bullpen. Nogosek is not a great, I got hold of him, but he's can do. I may be able to pull him off a little bit. And Brendan Donovan's a lefty, so I'm going to go to Jason Shreve. But then he'll have to face Goldschmidt, who I can walk. And then face Sosa. But they're going to probably pinch hit for Sosa. I don't know if I have another guy who can play third base. Arenado was injured. So I'm going to go with Shreve. So let's do that. Let's grab Shreve real quick here. There he is. So lefty, let's roll for him. And he's his 3 stuff. Gives up a lot of home runs if the guy he's facing has power. If not, it's no big deal. Alright, so let's see. Donovan, the lefty, versus Shreve, the lefty. And here is the pitch with nobody out and the ghost runner at second base. And that's going to be a 44, and that's going to be a 4-6 base on balls. And no, it's a ground ball to third. In the hole, Edman advances. Escobar with the long throw in time. Goldschmidt now. So we have to bring the infield in. We're going to intentionally walk Goldschmidt. Did I call him Goldman? Goldschmidt. And now we're going to force him to make a move here with Sosa. Let's see what we're going to do with Sosa. Because Sosa can't hit for beans, but do we have somebody else who can play third base is the question. I do not have anybody else who can play third base. Let me see the lineup. No. I do not have anybody else that can play third base, so we're going to have to let Sosa hit. And here's the pitch. Infield's in for the Mets, a 34, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. Now with the infield in, it is tough. So we're going to roll a D6, a 1 and a 2 is a base hit, and I roll a 4. So let's see what that means here. And I actually had that chart somewhere. What did I do with that? Here it is. Alright, so the 4 ground optional infield in chart to shortstop, a 4 runner hold. Runner on first to second. Batter out at first. So it's going to be a 6-3 put out. Runner on third would hold. So a hard hit ball right at Lindor. Looks Edman back to third. And Goldschmidt to second. And out at first will be Sosa. So it's a G6, runner, third, hold. Remember, I'm using Digital Diamond Baseball to keep track of all this fun stuff. All right. Yepes now, he's a right-hander. And this is his third, this is Shreve's third batter, I believe, right? So Yepes is the 250 guy. Next guy's a 230 guy. So it's, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So we're going to just face Yepes here with first base open, infield back now. 2 outs here in the top of the 10th, a 2-2 tie. And Shreve gets a sign from Nito. He's ready to roll. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 22. Struck him out. And the slider gets Yepes. And that retires the side. So the Mets need 1 run. And it's going to be Alonso running. Alonso will be running. And it will be McNeil against Palante. Palante is a right-hander. Do we bring in a lefty here to face McNeil? Why not? Let's do that. Let's grab a lefty. McNeil's a tough left-hander, so we're going to bring in... let's see. We're going to bring in McFarland. So let's grab him. Let's see if we can quickly find him. That's the thing, finding guys. It's about 3:30 a.m. Trying to keep the voice down a little bit. I like to get up, sleep a little bit, get up a little bit, and play some games, then go back to sleep. Here he is, T.J. McFarland versus McNeil. Let's roll for McFarland, see what kind of stuff he will have. His 4 stuff. Not great. Again, I'm seeing that the Cardinals do not have a great bullpen. But it is lefty on lefty. They'll take away that splits hit on McNeil's card. And here is, or do we walk McNeil? No. McNeil is a 326 hitter. We could face a 240 hitter in Escobar and then a 230 hitter in Davis. But then why would I have brought in McFarland? And now why would I bring in McFarland in this case, right? Should have thought of that. Let's undo the last. Let's be fair to St. Louis, right? Let's undo the last move I made. Okay, we didn't want to do that. All right, that was a strikeout. All right, lucky I remembered, because it took me back to the previous Cardinal strikeout. The Cardinal at bat with second and third. Okay, so let's start this again. So we're going to go into the bullpen and pull Palante, but we're going to pull him for a right-hander. And we're going to walk McNeil. So let's do that. McNeil's probably the most intimidating, well, in terms of hitting, probably the best hitter on the Mets in 2022 with a 326 average. Didn't he win the National League batting title? I think he did. So we're going to grab a righty. And let's see. We can Drew Verhagen, I guess. Let's do that. Drew Verhagen. So I backed up because I wanted to be fair to the Cardinals and not I didn't really think deeply about it until I looked at it a little bit more closely. And I said, oh. So I'll do that, to try to be as fair as possible. I don't have any problem with doing that. I am the commissioner, so I get away with stuff like that. So we're looking for Drew Verhagen. is. He's ready to roll. Well, we're going to use the roll. Well, we'll roll again. Bullpen is a 5, and he's a 4, 5, 8, and 1. All right, so we're going to intentionally walk McNeil, putting runners on first and second. Going to play for the double play. It's going to be Eduardo Escobar. Here's a pitch, and that is a 54. Oh boy. Verhagen all the way up. That's an automatic wild pitch. So both runners are going to move up. And not only that, now we got 14 and 15 will be, 14 and 15 will be wild pitches. So here's Escobar. And, we're gonna pitch to Escobar here. So infield is in, outfield is in, and it is Escobar at the plate with the winning run 90 feet away in Alonso. And he will hold up on a ground ball, unless, of course, it's a base hit. So here goes. Here's the pitch from Verhagen to Escobar with nobody out in the bottom of the 10th. And that's going to be a 43. That'll be a base on balls, and that's going to load up the bases. And who's coming up? I think it's Jankowski. So Jankowski's coming up because we pinch hit for, we actually pinch ran for J.D. Davis. And it's a lefty now. So Jankowski can't hit for beans, a 167 hitter. So we're going to bring that infield in. There's no choice. Infield in, outfield in. Here's the pitch to Jankowski. And that is ball 4. Ball game is over. Mets win it. Walk to Jankowski. Forces in Alonso. And that's a walk. And Jankowski gets mobbed. And Mets celebrate on the field. Crowd is happy. And I believe this was the last game of the series. So final score 3-2, 3-4-0 for the Mets, 2-9-0 for the Cardinals. Hope you got a little taste of field day baseball. And you also get a taste of how I approach the games that I play as well. So the Mets are 23-17, and the Cardinals actually have a great record. They're 26-11. Wow. All right, so let's look at the pitchers and so on, and take a look at the win-losses, that sort of thing. All right, so it was Hudson who started for the Cardinals. He gave up 1 hit, 2 earned runs. It was a walk and a 2-run homer by Alonso, and 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and a 2.54 ERA. For the Mets, it was Bassett. And he went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, has a 3.20 ERA. So Shreve is going to get the victory. He's 1-0. And Verhagen is going to get the loss. He's 0-1. For the Mets offensively, nothing really to mention beyond Alonso's 2-run home run. He went 1 for 4. That was his 15th home run of the season. We are in the middle of May. He did hit 40 home runs. And for the Cardinals, 3 players had 2 hits. Donovan, Carlson, and Bader all had 2 hits each. Goldschmidt hit his 7th of the year. He had 35 home runs, but Alonso's done nothing but hit home runs. I think he's got like 1 double, 1 triple, and 14 or 15 home runs. 15, I think I said. So that's about it, guys. And this is your friendly neighborhood tabletop baseball host, Tony Porter, for Universal Baseball Association YouTube channel. And remember to like and subscribe and comment. What do you think about field day baseball? Have you tried it? You can try it for free at ASG Games. I think they give you a couple of teams, and then so I know that Greg Sovan, the designer, was very good that way. He was very generous, very decent guy for sure. He is missed. Rest in peace. Take care.